Hello, my darling. How are you? It's a beautiful spring day, and I'm feeling centered and solid and happy to be connecting with you. But I'm not going to lie, I had a couple of rough weeks. And I do believe I know enough to know that crisis is always an opportunity to grow and heal and deepen. It's always an invitation to come into greater alignment with our soul and deepen in our faith. But when we're in crisis, and this was true for me this week, it's confusing, it's painful, it's challenging. So to tell you a little bit about what's been going on with me, one of my horses, Zeus, my big, beautiful black Frisian, was diagnosed with something called head shaking syndrome. And it can be a very mysterious, confusing, painful, and sometimes debilitating disease for horses. It's about the trigeminal nerve. And I know more about it than I ever wanted to. And it was scary. It was really scary. And I was doing a lot of research and consulting with a lot of experts. And I brought them to a couple of vets. And I consulted with an animal intuitive and learned a lot. But I was still feeling really anxious, really panicked, really afraid because I'm in care of this soul. And I feel great responsibility to make sure he's okay. But some of this was simply out of my hands. And I kept trying to just take care of things, right? And then one night, I really just lost it. I just lost it. And sometimes this is important. It's important to lose it. I got a pillow and I put my face in it and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I asked God to come closer to me. I said, draw closer to me, draw closer to Zeus. And what I heard so clearly was, I have never left you. I am closer than your breath. You continue to draw closer to me. Yeah, I was running around trying to figure things out. I was trying to take responsibility. And I think sometimes in that, we can take over responsibility. It's about the discernment. How much do I do? What do I do? And what's not mine to do? What's God's to do? And so I got to really sit with that again. And this has come up repeatedly for me in my life in different forms, different fashions, and it happens in layers. Healing happens in layers. Crisis happens. Hopefully we can learn and grow from it. Hopefully we get a bit of a reprieve, and then, eventually crisis is going to come up again. And I've had a wonderful reprieve. Life has been pretty graceful and easy for me for a while. But this situation really did bring me to my knees. And I think I've done everything right. We have him on a lot of supplements and vitamin E and magnesium. And it wasn't getting better. It's been about 3 weeks and it wasn't getting better. So I broke down and I cried and I cried and I cried. You know what? The next day I went out to see them and he only had symptoms, his little head shaking symptom, maybe twice, which is an incredibly improved vibration, incredibly improved situation. I was like, that's interesting. And I do believe when we do our inner work and we learn what we're supposed to learn, if we hear the whisperings of the divine in our soul, sometimes things outside of us change. And I'm not saying that's necessarily what happened. It could be the vitamin E. It could have been the appointment with the animal intuitive. It could have been the magnesium. It could have been a lot of things. It could be that the seasons are changing. But it also could be that I really took great responsibility and I turned inward. And I talked and I listened and I felt my feelings. I'd been dealing with a lot of anxiety. I didn't want to deal with my deep feelings, my deep fear. I didn't want to fall to my knees in that place of grief. But I finally did. And once I did, I felt immense relief. It was like I was trying to resist this storm cloud. I was trying to resist this energy of bad weather, internal bad weather. I was trying to avoid it. But finally, the rain came, the tears flowed, and then I felt relief. And then there was grace. And I've seen this happen before in my life with my other horse, Samson. He was not behaving well. And I finally just gave up. I said, God, he's your horse. And if it's not for his highest good to be ridden, I surrender. I give up. And the next day, he was like, okay, let's get to work. So I really have found as I surrender to what's going on and I quit resisting it, and sometimes that includes crying, sometimes that includes allowing our emotions to come up and out, often on the other side of this is peace, is relief, is clarity, is grace. There's an opportunity, a spiritual opportunity in all of our difficult experiences. And I needed to remind myself of that this week. And I needed to really practice what I preach. Tears are sacred. And it's important to allow ourselves that process of grief, if and when it shows up. And just as a final note, I'd like to just recommend a book to you that has supported me in many of my dark nights of the soul. It's my go-to book when I'm feeling really sad or confused or in crisis. And it's by Joan Borysenko, and it's called Fire in the Soul. So if you're going through any kind of hurt, heartbreak, crisis, confusion, and you want to know what that spiritual opportunity is, yes, you can turn inward and upward and ask those questions. Cry your tears, and you may get that wisdom from within. But this is also filled with wisdom that I know has supported me. And it's a book that Ron and Mary Holnett from USM has suggested. I had it before I went to school and had read it, and I reread it again when I was going through school. And I've actually referred to it pretty consistently when I've gone through challenges, hurt, heartbreak, confusion. So if you're dealing with any kind of pain, challenges, confusion, know that these are opportunities to learn, to grow, to heal, and to ascend in your consciousness. So, yeah, check out this book. It's probably available on Amazon, Fire in the Soul. And I imagine it can be a guide for you, as it has for me. And I hope there's something here that has resonated for you, that supports you, that encourages you, that inspires you to feel your feelings, cry your tears, turn inward and upward if there's any situation in your life that you're confused by, or anything you're unsure about. If you're in any kind of discomfort, there's an opportunity in it. It's about really setting the intention to come into this understanding that life is about learning. And sometimes we learn through things that are challenging. We learn through things that bring us to the edge of our comfort zone, and sometimes far beyond what we think we can endure. So let me know your thoughts. Are you going through some challenges, or have you? And if you do, remember these simple things that I've shared with you today. Challenge is an opportunity to deepen in your faith and your connection to God. Draw closer to God and allow Him to comfort you and inform you, and treat and do your feet. Take your action steps. Do what you think you need to do, but also turn inward, turn upward, and perhaps check out this book if you feel you could use a little bit of support and guidance and clarity. And you don't have to be in pain in order to receive value from this book. It's just a wealth of wisdom that I know has been incredibly supportive on my path and brought great clarity to intense confusion. And I hope to do that for you, and possibly this book can do it for you. And if you have questions, concerns, thoughts, ideas about what I'm talking about, or could use some support, know that's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. So just be in touch here on the thread, or private message me. And of course, you can email me at tammibphd@gmail.com. And know that you are in my heart, in my prayers. Thank you for your prayers and blessings towards my beautiful animal, my beautiful beast, my earth angel Zeus. And I do believe that prayer is powerful. And I have talked to you some about this situation, and I appreciate so much the light and blessings you've sent his direction. I suspect it's been part of this healing process. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. So take good, gentle care of yourself, and let's continue our conversation as we journey onward and upward with hopefully grace, with ease, deepening of faith, greater clarity and understanding, and ever expanding love. I love you. I'm thankful for you.